Hello and welcome to Boarding Party's D&D campaign. Featuring Bentley Woods, CJ, D. Blackwater, Milo Reuter, and Phoebe Wilheim. I'm Drew, the Game Master for the Laris region. With time running out before the siege of Ambercrag, the Tater Tots take one final day to power up, prepare, and brace for the coming war.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Boarding Party. This is session 146, and I am so delighted and terrified to have all of the Tots in one room for the last time before things go insane. When last we left our heroes, D, CJ, and Milo had gone up to Lake Lahana to re-encapsulate several escaped prisoners, which ended in the long-awaited return of maybe fan favorite or maybe just my favorite, Undertow, who made a few empty promises and half deals with their various heads, but ultimately stated if war came to the oceans, they would stand and fight. Phoebe and Crickets are where we are starting today. Canonically, for those of you who have been following along at home, the city of Greengate fell about 2 hours ago. Alluvia, not far off. Phoebe and Crickets, and the boys, as you emerge from Wilheim Manor, you see Alluvia off in the distance. You and Crickets, far to the northwest, see a horde on approach. Thousands of moon-touched individuals. You see several thousand Elgium, maybe a dozen or so enormous amalgamations of flesh. And you look down at Alluvia, already smoldering, and realize you may not have time to check in. And as you and Crickets look down, you see a Pidgeotto flying from Greengate that crests over the top of Alluvia. And in a pretty quick amount of time, has crested over the Amberite Sierras, and you see a mail tube trailing off the back. And as you look behind this approaching horde towards where Greengate used to be, it is now a field of gray ash. Everywhere that the swarm tramples over is left dead and marred as though it is the surface of a moon. And you see, atop that gilded tower, very small silhouette of a bright green suit and a shock of orange hair. Moving about, but it's kind of hard to catch details before that golden tower is shoved down and broken into nothing. As in the amount of time it took for Wilheim Manor to open at Alluvia, the approaching swarm took out Greengate, made it to Alluvia, and broke that down as well. It is from your vantage point that you're able to figure out you've got about 36 hours before they are at Ambercrag's doorstep. As Crickets and the boys peek out the manor and see the smoldering in the distance, they just lean right back in.
Yeah. I'm just, like, slack-jawed, like... Holy crickets.
What?
Well, I mean, we're a little late. Yeah.
Ah!
We're late.
The heck is that?
The moon people.
Okay, so when we did our power rankings, you put me way too high.
that's what we're up against, Crickets.
Oh, that makes me feel great. Yeah, awesome.
But, better to know your enemy than, I don't know, going blind.
Sure, I guess.
The famous saying.
Wow.
Yeah.
Somehow I feel worse. I want to go home. Let's go back.
Yeah, I think we
here.
need to go back. Yeah, just to Ambercrag.
Yeah, I'm moving in to Ambercrag. Because Greengate doesn't look like it's doing so hot anymore.
I'm hoping that Pidgeotto gets there maybe before we do. Because we need as much warning as we can get everybody.
Yeah, we should go.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Right.
Later.
As you crickets and the boys are like
Immediately, yeah.
slam that door shut.
Just
Can
immediately.
you do that, or are you? Is it
I'm
gonna kill a
kind of
day?
gonna gloss over.
Well, because I
little
don't
bit.
leave.
What here? So
Yeah, but you've already picked where it opens.
Oh.
I
Here's
figured
what
you'd
I'm
just
gonna
get on
say,
Noivern and fly over.
because
Well, I could do that,
time's
but-
gonna get a little fuzzy here. I'm gonna say that as you see that, when the door opens in Ambercrag, you're gonna have 36 hours. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay.
You guys, from the moment that all the tots are together, you have 36 hours to make any preparations.
Okay. Deal.
But, Milo Rooter,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start next with you.
Okay.
As you awaken from a very light night of sleep,
Mm-hmm.
tossing and turning, feeling things be a bit off.
Yeah.
All of you are nervous. Nobody's sleeping particularly well these days, if at all. Just enough to stay conscious. You awaken to the sound of the Pidgeys in the Rooter coop losing their minds. With the return of a Greengate local Pidgeotto.
Okay.
There is a note tied around its back in the little tubes that they all ride with. My tube.
Mm-hmm.
And in that note, the casualties for Greengate are listed.
Okay.
And flying in very quickly is another Pidgeotto. One from
Oh boy.
Alluvia.
Okay.
It is at this point, for all of the tots and everyone following along at home, that your damage numbers become public knowledge. It was someone's job in Alluvia, and it was Farron's job in Greengate to write down, to die with their city and for their city, and make sure that the message got out, that they fought to the last. Boyd and Parker give their best wishes to anyone still alive. And as these messages reach you, you feel your mother's hand on your shoulder. She reads alongside. Just bows her head low, kind of squeezes you, and takes the letter to the head of the bureau. As the tots are now aware that 2,300 Elgium have been killed across 2 cities, and an order of magnitude more than that are on the way.
And Boyd is dead, Parker is dead, and who was the person that was writing down the
Farron.
Baron? Thank you.
Greengate and Alluvia are dead.
Everyone in Greengate is dead. Anyone who evacuated Greengate either went to Xantha or Alluvia.
Where they
Where
were
they're
also
now
dead.
dead.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so Xavier is dead?
Xavier's very dead.
Damn.
Xavier fought hard, but he's dead.
It was almost the last one standing.
Mm-hmm.
The last one standing, I believe, was Mischievous.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of my favorite stress mispronunciations of all time.
Mish, 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 me.
Mischievous.
Mish, mish.
But Bentley Woods, another sleepless night for you in Ambercrag Medical Center.
Mm-hmm.
As you look around and see the casualties of the current and coming war. As you lay with Rose.
Yeah, Bentley's just gonna shake off his stupor of depression, I guess, and just give Rose one final hug, and then kiss her on the side of the head that isn't mush. and then just like hold her flipper for a little bit, give her one last look, and then he'll make his way out of the hospital to try and prepare. We'll go to his parents' ranch probably and just do some very light training, like some basketball layup lines, maybe have a catch with his Pokemon, just do some fun training things before everybody dies.
Okay.
But yeah, just getting in the mode of like, okay, I've mourned as much as is responsible, and now I need to get ready to do this final fight with everybody. So
Okay. For CJ and D, no matter where you are, if you are near a building with a TV in it, news reports are trickling in. Information is light, as anybody that gets too close is just another number. But it is very clear from aerial reconnaissance that Ambercrag is the next target. However, given that Ambercrag is where the medical center is, there's nowhere for anybody to run to, because anybody that needs medical care cannot go anywhere and survive.
I'm just picturing the news broadcast. It's like Al Roker standing in front of a lurcher, just like, oh, it's looking really bad, and then he just gets decimated.
Just
not Al!
overrun by the
He's a
swarm.
national treasure.
I'm standing here outside of the Icon Tower in Alluvia where a eldritch must...
Yeah, exactly that. Like, what news broadcast is still going on?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's the emergency warning.
Yeah, for real. Just a siren.
As the
Oh, no.
Bureau agents in Ambercrag rush to their various posts, there is a current focus on fortifying the fields outside of Ambercrag, as regardless of the area of attack that most of the invading forces take, the fields will be hit first. So as all of these Bureau agents make their way to those outer fields, CJ and D, an early morning for both of you, as the town around you is awakened largely by raid sirens. Newly installed. However, the sending and receiving antennas are not necessarily still standing. But the tower that was built in Ambercrag that has been being worked on for several weeks now is done, and you realize it is a hands-on-deck alarm, for lack of a better word. But Tater Tots, Phoebe, as your manor reopens in Ambercrag at 7 a.m., about 2 hours after Milo awakens, shortly after that air raid siren begins. For the last time, the day is yours.
Oof.
Sheesh.
It's a heavy sentence to say.
Are we all like met up now at this point?
If you would like to be.
Okay.
You guys awaken at various times, but
Milling about.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, I'd make my way, but probably first place I'd go would be Milo's house.
Okay.
So, say we all meet up there.
Meet outside. Sure.
Mhm.
Sure. Well,
What's the game plan?
doesn't seem that Greengate or Alluvia survived the attack, and they're coming here next.
I saw it with my own eyes.
Great.
It was bad.
So what do we do? Do we want to, like, just soup up the perimeter as much as we can with, like, weapons or something? Maybe
Yes.
Like dig a pit?
Yes.
D, these things, they're weak to, like, sound, right? Could we make, like...
And psychic fairy fire.
Right. So that was kind of my thought, is maybe we, like, dig a pit and put, like, a bunch of, like, charcoal in it, and then mortar could light it on fire, so it's, like, they have to get past that before
Okay.
they can get to us. And then maybe we can try and build those sonic cannons.
And set it up such that they're kind of forced into the pits.
Yeah, like, just try and create, like, a bottleneck that they all have to go through, where it's like we have enough firepower to at least chip them down before they get into Ambercrag proper, which I imagine is going to happen at some point. I mean, I could ask my mom. She probably has enough resources at the forge to try and help us.
Yeah, I could help out in that regard. I have to catch up with Deke. He's been working on some stuff that I tasked him to do, so as long as he's caught up and is done with that, I could focus on that stuff.
So maybe after we get a game plan, like you, me, Neek can go to my mom's and we can try and figure it out from there?
Sure.
Do you guys have any other ideas, plans, concerns? I mean, I think we all have concerns.
Are we, I'm assuming we're going like 10 out of 10 prep right now. How are we feeling on the Hail Mary plans?
What do you mean, Hail Mary plans?
Like
what does that mean?
If we want to do something like crazy, but it could not be great, but it could help, where do we stand on that?
You mean like a last-ditch effort?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think we should try anything and everything we can think of. There are no bad ideas.
Yeah.
Like I was
Just
also,
everything, yeah.
Right. So I was also kind of thinking, like, we have Dial-Up, we have Pontiki, we have Eunice.
Mm-hmm.
My mom has all kinds of different metal at the forge, so maybe she can pick one that's like the best conductor of electricity, and we could make like shock pads that things would go over. I don't know that it's going to impact those giant, disgusting, noodly thingies, but maybe other things. I don't know. Just run like an electric current through it, so if they walk over it, they'll get shocked.
Yeah.
And I imagine once they do it once, they'll just learn and not do it again, but that's something.
Maybe less of them, but stronger, and try to, like, you know, when something gets electrified enough, it gets paralyzed and like they can't move.
Right.
Like less of those panels, but they're that strong that maybe they step on it and they're like stuck there.
Okay, so like one very strong panel.
Or like 2 or 3 that are spread out into an even.
Yeah, the problem is we're just going to have to figure out how we bottleneck them to the right place, because we need to get them where we want them to go.
Unless they're small enough to be portable, and we can kind of throw them where we need them to be.
Yeah, I imagine they're
or
going to be
sky
really
drop
heavy.
them.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if it's possible and how heavy it might be.
Right.
And then
Maybe the
out.
other thing, since they're weak to fire, maybe we could just create like a cauldron of like boiling metal, and then just at a certain point we could like figure out like some kind of rig where we could tip it and just pour boiling metal on them.
Or could we like
Lava?
fly on Pokemon and like pour it on them over the top?
Mm-hmm.
Or bombs or something?
Seems very
We could
dangerous,
probably make
but
bombs.
I got
there
the
are no bad
bombs.
ideas.
We could probably
What
make
about-
bombs,
I
right?
have bombs.
Arrows on fire?
perfect. Then we can do that.
Don't you have bombs?
Fire
Well, yeah,
arrows, I like that.
But I don't
Yeah.
have a lot of bombs.
I have a
my
lot of bombs. I'll give you all my bombs.
Oh, okay.
I think there needs to be like a specialization team for those things that phase through stuff, because we can't stop them.
Right. I mean, my parents have like a fair amount of ranch hands on the ranch. They could maybe create flammable arrows for that purpose.
Right, but
Those need to be hit by range.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. There should be like a focused group of people.
Yeah.
But that's all they do. That's it.
Maybe just every able body we can find, we tell them to just shoot fire arrows at those
The
things
lurchers,
from as
yeah.
far away as they can.
Yeah.
And if they hit them, great. If not, then
Great.
Fire
we
again.
tried.
Yeah, they'll hit all the other little ones.
Keep shooting it. If you miss, just shoot again.
Yep.
Drew, can I see the map? Real quick.
I was gonna try to go rally some ghosts now that I can do that again.
That sounds like a good idea.
That's
Do you think maybe you could,
wonderful.
maybe, I don't know that they would even care, but powwow with the grave tender?
I mean, I can try. I don't know if I'll be able to find him.
I mean, yeah, it's worth trying is all I mean.
I mean,
Yep.
he was useless with Arlecchino.
He was useless, but this is his last chance to kind of come through for the world.
He'll probably just be like, "Yeah, I want everybody to die."
Yeah, 'cause then they're in his world.
If they get it's sucked in by the
Now you're getting
lurchers, do their souls go away, and then he doesn't get anything?
And also, if everybody
Oh,
dies,
that's a good point.
Remember
I'll bring that up. I'll bring that up.
there's no more future where other things are dying. It's just kind of like it gets them all in one whack, and then that's the end. That doesn't seem like a fun.
it's
Then
an
he's
old
out of a
country
job.
buffet for a bit, and then it's
Right. Then he just runs out because there's nobody left to
Then
die.
it's a drought.
It's like, look at all these.
then it's a closed
souls.
fine diner after that.
Never gets
For
one for
eternity.
eternity.
You guys, I'll leave the map out there for you guys. In case you- in
Yes,
case you're
yes,
curious.
yes.
So
I would like to see
I think
it.
I'm just gonna figure out a way to dry dock my ship.
There's ways.
Oh yeah.
There's ways.
we
yeah.
can make a moat.
I'm just gonna tidal wave up the river
Bring it
and
in.
bring it into the land.
Yeah,
Shoot
but we could,
cannons,
like-
that's sick, dude.
We could create a moat type thingy where you could have the boat.
So the
We don't have time
To-
to create a
throw
giant
it-
moat
to
from the
throw it out?
river to.
Oh, that's what you think.
Pokemon.
The
Yeah.
two boats that Dee's talking about both ride about 30 to 50 feet below the surface.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's gonna be dry dock.
here's I guess.
Well, we got Derby and crew.
Hold on. This is what Devin's saying. We maybe with all the Pokemon we have time to do that, but there's so many other things we want to do. Let's just tidal wave it in so we can do other stuff.
Yeah,
And the
Yeah.
boats.
that's where I'm at. I'm like, I'd
Yes.
rather dry
That's
dock,
fine.
then figure out a way to get my ship back on land if,
we survive.
everything
Yeah.
survives and is fine.
I agree.
Makes sense.
I agree.
There's a
I have two
there's an
ships.
easy way to do it, but I'll
I have
see
a
if you
ghost
figure
one
it
and a
out.
normal one.
Well, and my dad probably has a bunch of like competitively bred Pokemon that
Mm-hmm,
were probably assigned to go to someone who is now dead. So, I mean, it's kind of.
Well, that and I don't think they'd care if we borrowed them for this, because if they
I mean,
died, you
it's-
wouldn't get it
It's pretty
anyway.
messed up to just be like, hey, you were supposed to go to a trainer. That trainer's dead. You gotta fight for your survival and the world's survival.
Well, let's leave that portion out of it and just say, hey, we need your help.
I mean, I feel like that's even worse.
Hey, I'm your trainer you were going to.
It's already
We're
bad.
gonna go
we might
fight.
as well be honest.
Yeah, but we don't want them to be shaking in their boots in the meantime.
Yeah.
I guess.
I'll just be like, no.
Bang.
I mean, these Pokemon were bred to battle, so I feel like they might relish that opportunity, at least some of them.
They'll love it.
That'll be all good.
I will throw out for you. Ansem and Ona will get cracking on the sonic cannons.
Perfect.
And helping out with electrical
Panels?
paneling stuff that you guys want to do.
Perfect.
That
that frees
way-
me up for more things.
Yep. Any preps that you guys want to make, you have an entire city.
Could Ansem
These
also
don't necessarily have to come from you guys. You don't.
Yeah.
You as people don't have to do it. I'm adding it to like Ambercrag's preparation.
D will pull out big ass, like he'll use like his planning thing and is just going to start writing everybody's ideas down, pin it up and being like, whoever can do what,
That's
get to cracking.
That is this document right here. I have things that you guys
Get to
specifically want to do,
cracking?
Get to
and the preparations that the city's gonna make. So anything you guys want to do,
Can Ansem create like a battery to hold that electrical charge for
that'll
the panels?
be if that's part of it for what you guys want.
Because then we
yeah.
could just have our electric types power up that battery for like one, either giant shock or
You guys
several.
remember how the pylons worked in Fola? Mm-hmm. I'll have it work exactly like that.
Perfect.
Those panels can just shoot and hit stuff, and you can charge them up.
Okay.
I'll leave it up to you guys if they have lightning rod or not.
Is it going to, same thing, our action to pull the lever crunk?
I mean, you could have like a range.
Okay, that's what I
envision
wanna
it
make
more
sure,
Like
okay.
static electricity, like they get within a certain range, they just become a conductor and get shot.
Yep. So I'll work out the specifics of like what you guys intend from it, and then I'll figure out the mechanics of it later. But for now, this is a brainstorm session.
Yes, sir.
Throw it out there. But
Okay.
you have Ansem, you have Ona, you have a whole bunch of people here. You have a vast proportion of like Fola engineers are just here because they were building that radio tower,
Yeah.
and now home might not be there for them. So they're kind of just, well, we better win here. So you have a bunch of engineering minds. You also, nearby, is the Slayer of Men, who's kind of assisting with just menial tasks right now. He's helping lift stuff.
So he can dig them
all
out.
of the champion.
We're not making a moat.
Why not?
The
We don't need it.
champions
It'll be
team
okay.
is here.
Okay.
My offer stands at any siege that you want them to be at, part 1, 2, or 3.
Mm-hmm.
The whole champion team will show up, and they will treat any of the top Pokemon as champion Pokemon. So you will share their benefits.
We're
Mm.
The
building
offer is there.
a moat of fire,
Okay.
not
I
of
accept
water.
that.
Put
You
the
accept
boat in
that?
the moat
I
and then light
accept
the boat on
that.
fire. and then you
No,
have a
wait.
flaming boat.
Water is bad because I think me and CJ are now weak to it. So if we get hit with a tidal wave, we're probably just gonna die.
Stay away from my entire team, please.
Yeah,
Haka makes it rain. You get
Yeah.
Ow!
for real though. Yeah,
You just
I
get the
mean,
Death Stranding rain. You just age.
Yeah.
hate that.
Yeah. Okay, so electrical
Not
paneling.
that it matters. It's just I'm 80 now. I lived a full life.
Electrical paneling and a battery.
Curiosity.
Yes.
The siren. She's limited to water. She's
limited
not
to
like
water.
Undertow.
She's a deep water swimmer.
Okay.
Same thing with Undertow. You need enough water for him to manifest in. It's not like
Yeah.
You ever see like Ghost Jaws where the sharks just pump out of a puddle?
Yeah.
That's stupid. I don't do that.
Why not? Give me my puddle. Give me my puddle.
If there's a large enough water for them to be in, you can have it.
So what you're saying is that with these 2 water source stones that I have on my trident, I place in the center of Ambercrag, and we have a Ambercrag Lake.
I mean, in a couple of years, yeah.
Stop. Come on.
I'll throw it for you again. There's a very easy way to get all of your water-based needs, but I'll leave it to you.
Bentley would like to have a powwow also with Manny and Apophis to see like if
Did you change my
their
wave dog?
collective relationship
Not
to
yet.
the Sierras, they would be able to go there for like a couple hours and try to recruit as many Pokemon out of the Sierras as possible. Like, be it a swarm of Golbats or like anything that they could persuade to help.
What are their charismas?
Okay, that's a good question.
Because that would be highly relevant. Their charisma scores.
Manny's charisma score is a 15,
That's not bad.
and Apophis is a 12.
He's an ideas guy. And they're like, ew.
Well, I envision it kind of like good cop, bad cop. Like Apophis is like, help us. And Manny's like, you need to fucking help us. Like, you don't have a choice. Like, you are going to die if you don't. And then Apophis is just kind of the like,
Yeah, but like, do it out of the kindness of your heart that you maybe don't have.
I'll say Manny Manfred with advantage. Give me a persuasion check.
oh boy.
Ow.
It's not necessarily something that you have. Something available to the Tots. You can do that very
17.
quickly. 17. Holy Lord. Okay. Manny and Apophis, as you guys kind of earth glide your way up to the Sierras. I think he's cracked it. As you guys fly up to the Sierras, you do see a little whatever. What's a gathering of bats?
Swarm.
It's like a congregation. I know it's a parliament of owls.
A parish of crows.
A murder of crows? I don't know what a group of bats
What's
is.
a group of
Congregation
bats?
of
A parish.
bats.
It's
A
probably,
parish of
it's probably a
bats.
colony.
It is a colony, a camp, or a
My
cloud.
bat knowledge.
You see a cloud of bats. A
Hell
cloud
yeah.
of Golbats.
Hell yeah.
And they find your persuasions reasonable.
And one of them is Nandor the Relentless.
Sick.
Who we've
Okay.
also recruited.
Nandor the Relentless Golbat, I guess.
Yeah,
is-
it's just a vampire.
Perfect.
Can't be out during the day, but you know.
that might be helpful.
Nighttime
then.
she'll show up.
D's gonna run over to CJ.
Yeah, there you go.
I need your hair. The Suicune hair.
You can't have my
I
hair.
need your hair.
I need your hair.
Hear me out.
What are you gonna do with it?
If we can find a way to extend the ocean depth into portions of Ambercrag, I have so many things that could help.
Okay.
That was too easy.
I
I was waiting for a fight on
Nah,
this.
dude, you said you have a plan. I don't have a plan. We don't really have time. Here you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not here to argue with you.
That's fine.
If you have
if
an
this was
idea-
just like a normal Tuesday and you were like, "Give me your hair," I'd be like, "Fuck you." But
That's what I was waiting for.
we have like a day.
It's been like that for like months.
We have like a day, man. There's no time for that anymore. I'm not gonna be difficult now.
I'm excited for the Golbat colony.
I will hold on the hair thing for now until I can find a way to
Not monkey paw this.
correct. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I want it to be as plain and simple as possible, but without you being like, oh, well, now there's just a giant hole in Ambercrag.
You dum-dum.
Yeah.
Now the ocean is in Evercrag and it's flooded. Game over. Pause recording.
Yeah. I know you wouldn't do that,
Yeah.
but I want to figure out a
Bentley
way,
would.
game.
Yeah.
Bentley has
Mechanic-wise.
another idea.
Yeah.
He's gonna powwow with Evinrude and Nipsey as the Bug Boys.
Okay.
And he's gonna ask the Bug Boys to go into like the forest on the outskirts where I'm assuming most of this raid is coming from, and try to persuade like Caterpies, Kakunas, Beedrill, whatever other bug types are in that forest. Like, hey, if you could like, you know, like string shot them and like maybe tangle them up or slow them down, you should do that, because if you don't, you're gonna be dead.
You want like some webs?
Yeah, like some sticky webs, some string shots, some maybe some stinger shots,
Difficult
twin
terrain.
needles.
I'll throw for you. They can.
Then we just have to fight the lurchers, and then we'll pick off the
Yeah.
stuck in the web.
If
The
Beedrills
Caterpies can
could do
throw
like
web.
toxic spikes or something,
Yeah,
that
sticky webs and
Klaus
toxic spikes.
is not here to do.
Could they do
Sticky
like
webs and
a
toxic spikes can be arranged.
if there's like a psychic types like confuse them so that or like manipulate it so it seems like they're going a direction? Not all of them, obviously, but like pick off some of the.
Like what Emily did.
Yes, but I'm talking about you're like manipulating like it's like the background, like a Looney
Make
Tune,
it
like you're
look like
pushing
they're
in like
somewhere
a
else.
yeah. So like it
Ghost
misdirects them.
Protocol. They have the fake hallway.
Yes.
A very strong psychic type could do that.
Okay, cool.
Something like Wadsworth could do
Wadsworth.
I already have that on my list.
Cool.
But I
Yeah.
like where your head's at.
Nice.
that. Okay. So let me give
Question
it
for the
one
teacher?
sec. Yeah, go ahead.
So, as we've seen and discussed, the Behemoths can pull status conditions. If they are already afflicted with that status, can they pull it again?
I will throw for you. They have to be able to see. So if you can
What?
blind them,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
cannot take another.
But if they're poisoned already,
They're
and we
poisoned-
poison it again, can they take more poison?
Yes.
Okay.
They will just take poison damage twice as fast.
Okay.
Okay.
If you can kill the last of the Behemoths, poison will last forever.
Yes, I
Right.
get that. I was just trying to see, like, if we poison everything, then they can't take it because
But
they're already poisoned.
We have to blind them, so they have to
If
see.
if you can blind the Behemoths, they have to be able to see their target.
To do
I
it.
didn't want it to just be like, oh, I can sense you. Yeah.
Right.
They have to be able to see, and they can't be stunned. If
Okay.
they're stunned, they can't take actions. They can't
Okay.
take a status.
Makes sense.
Hey, Drew.
Yes.
Sorry, Ben, I didn't mean to
No, you're
interrupt.
fine. Go ahead.
Do you have like a map of Ambercrag so I could draw
With
or
me, no, but
just
there is a map of Ambercrag, yeah.
well, like, because I'm trying to figure out a way to place the water that's not going to cut off section. You know, does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
areas.
You-
Mode it through on wave 1 so
If
that
it's-
we just...
If it's in like phase 1, if you just say I want to help you with your monkey's paw situation, if you say
Yeah.
I want a pool of water large enough to hold the torment, the Rainmaker can do that.
Yeah.
Part of what they were doing in Watalonga was raising the water level like 30 feet and stopping it at the borders of Watalonga.
Okay.
So there was just a wall of water that was just a big pool,
Yeah.
and then they would run around. and
Because
keep
what
it.
I'm thinking is that making like a kind of like a ginormous pool in Ambercrag, right? But there's like an underwater tunnel so it's not like landlocking anything in or
Yeah.
whatever. So there's just like a tunnel that creatures can come in and out of from underneath.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to go for.
So they would have like an easy escape if they needed.
Yeah. Or more,
More
things
reinforcements.
Yeah.
That's what I
I picture the ship just sitting there sideways, and then Sly Cooper just running around and shooting the cannons from the top of the ship.
If you want to bring the Torment and the Red Prince and the Siren and stuff, you can. But again, everything that you put here is on the menu.
Right.
Correct.
So,
And is it going to be a
blast
thing of
burger.
like if something's hidden or but once you pop out and hit something, it knows where that
There will be no
hidden spot
alley
is.
walk. There will be no secret shadow places for you to go.
Right.
Depending on the time of day. If you are in the fields outside Ambercrag, there's not a building for you to hide behind.
I'm
lay
saying if
flat
like
under the hay.
Derby made tunnels
If
Well,
Derby
that-
made-
and they saw you or you
If-
popped out, did a hit, went back in, they would know now.
If I'll throw it for you this way, these things are very heavy. They do still interact with the ground.
This was all. This
could
was
get
where I was
caked in.
going. Is
You could, yes.
It could
You get
be
trapped
like
over there.
Manny, Slurp, Derby, Tallulah. They could dig out like a pit and have like the top ground like still there, like
Right.
a layer,
And then they fall
But
in.
then they fall in, and at the bottom we could do like
The fire.
spikes,
A punji
of, like,
pit.
like ground,
Like Tony Hawk's
stone,
Pro Skater
basically.
2.
Yeah.
Like just
You could also get metal from your mom.
But I'm just saying, if
Yeah.
you do an attack of surprise, they now know where you're at and they can hit you.
But this isn't
Yes.
even like the
Okay.
Pokemon attacking. It's like a trap. Like it's a
No, I
it's
understand
a
that.
pit with
You
spikes.
She's talking about something
you guys are
entirely
saying
I'm talking
two
about
different
something
things that are both valid.
So
you could dig it, like if you guys want to do that, if you want to dig a big pit and then disguise it, that's the same as like having a fake surrounding. You can do that.
Yes.
You just tell me how deep it is.
Tia's
but
talking about underground Disneyland.
There's
No.
a limit between
Pretty sick,
how
though.
Like Derby's
deep and
under the
how wide
ground.
a pit can be.
If he popped up and he's like, whatever, earthquake.
If Derby pops up and hits a lurcher,
Yes. And then pops back
they're
they
still
down.
would
gonna-
get an attack of
Yeah,
opportunity
they get the
on
attacks of
Derby.
opportunity. That was
If
the
you
whole
hit
thing.
a lurcher and there is a hostile target of the lurcher within 10 feet of it, it will take an attack against it.
So there's no like creating hiding spaces to pop out of. Once you pop out, they know where it's
unless
at.
you're at a big enough range. To answer your question, yes, you can.
Okay.
You can hide.
Right.
But if you pop out and you hit something and
Yes.
you're within 10 feet, that lurcher will hit you on the way out.
Okay.
If you pop out and the swarm is there,
Yes.
you go back in. They will take attacks of opportunity on your way out.
Okay.
That's why I'm stressing there are attacks of opportunity for the things you're
Okay.
fighting.
No matter what you do.
Unless you're CJ. Because
if you can
he can get out without getting hit.
somehow
Oh, okay,
disengage,
okay.
you can do that.
Okay.
But
I see.
if you don't have a means to do it,
Right.
there's a risk involved in
taking
every
it.
attack.
So if CJ did that, he could get back out
because
and
CJ
hide
can
again,
disengage. That is a skill that CJ can take.
and they wouldn't know though.
They would know that he hit them.
I
and he could
understand
get
that,
away.
but they wouldn't know where he is.
I'd need to find cover and
If
re-hide.
if CJ disengages, he
Yes.
can get away. They will see where he goes.
Okay.
CJ can also hide using that same.
It's
action.
not Alluvia.
But he
Like
can't
there's
do the
nothing
other.
like that.
Yeah.
There's nothing like I gave
We're in a
Olivia and Greengate.
field.
Yeah.
Olivia and Greengate had special abilities because they don't have 65 team members, and I wanted you guys to still feel impactful.
Right.
So you got 10th level adventurers instead.
Right.
But here, everything in Ambercrag is going to hit less hard, but there's going to be 80 more things on the field. But that's why it comes down to your preparations. Your preparations can get you a lot farther. But like sticky webs and toxic spikes, it'll be difficult terrain for everything but the lurcher, and there's a chance that you'll
Right.
restrain smaller targets.
Right.
You could set the webs on fire and burn everything that's restrained,
Right.
getting rid of the web in the process, but causing guaranteed damage over time for a couple rounds.
Right.
The toxic spikes could poison everything that walks in. So those are all things that you can do. But again, I'll try to be as like upfront with you as I can about what your preparations will get you, so that you can determine if you actually want to do them or not.
Drew, I'll use the hair
'Kay.
to do.
Burn
what
the
I
hair.
think. Yeah.
The Rainmaker will appear before you.
Ooh.
Greetings, Guardian in training.
Hello.
The young ward of the Tidecaller.
That's me.
What can I do for you?
Well, as you know, world is slowly dying. Trying to prevent that as much as possible.
Yes, your world is slowly dying.
Yeah. I need, similar to Lake Lahana, need a large body of water here in Ambercrag for my ships, for the Siren, and for possibly my new companion Undertow.
I will bring the water here. I will keep it here for a week. After that week, if your world still stands, you'll need to deal with it.
Done.
Very well.
Sold.
If you press this button, someone in the world who you do not know will die. Oh, okay.
I will not be here in that time. I intend to be long gone by then. Good luck, young ward.
Hey, wait. Sunny, wait. Are you or your,
My brothers and I have found a way home.
you did?
We did.
Are you leaving like now?
On account of we don't know how long the portal will remain open. Yes, we are leaving very soon.
And, all of you are leaving? All four?
That is our intention, yes.
Okay. Are you leaving, the other one behind? The one that's locked up?
Sadly, as of now, we have no recourse to free them.
Do you want to free them?
I am not the one to ask that question to.
Okay.
You will have your pools. Simply mark out the space you wish them to be in. I will prepare the water.
I'll write down longitude, latitudes.
For each hair that you burn, I will give you, like, half a cubic mile of water.
I only need the one then.
Yep. I like you can draw out as whatever you want of water, and we can fit the. It'll be enough
How many
water to
hairs do you
fit
have?
the
2
Torment
left.
and the Prince.
You had 4 total?
No, I
He had
think I
3
only had
total,
3. I
he's
only
burned
used
one.
of them.
But I used the other one, so now you have 2.
Yeah,
No. He
I
has
have
one
one
left.
left.
I had 2. You use one. There's one left.
There's one hair left.
So,
But what I'm getting at is use it or lose it, because she's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do
Day
with
two?
it, so
The biggest ice cream. Worth it.
I mean, it's essentially this is a wish spell, right?
I would like a banana split.
It is a wish spell, but it must be related to water, more specifically the Green River. So she is limited in that regard. If it does not exist outside of the Green River, she can't do it for you. She can't go there. She's the spirit of the river.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Fix Crash, make him strong again.
That much she can't do, because the Tide Color already did it for you. Tide Color brought all his stats up to 16. Made him quite a beef
All
boss.
of our water boys are pretty
Water boys.
juiced.
Water boy.
I don't know what to use the last hair for. We'll think on it. We may be calling you again.
If I'm here, I'll answer.
Thanks.
Good luck, Milo.
Thank you.
She'll disappear on a mist.
Is Slurp gonna be available?
Yeah.
Okay, what about Growl?
It'd be a little rough. Growl
He's just
can
missing
fight.
a leg. Dogs are resilient.
So
They can
Growl,
figure it out.
That's what I'm saying. Growl can fight, but his thing stands. If he moves more than 10 feet, he's got to make a dex save. If he fails his dex save, he's
Just
going to fall
keep him by
prone.
you.
Maybe the
Guard
Gravedigger
dog.
can give him a phantom leg.
He has a leg. He has the prosthetic leg.
Oh, he does.
But it's just that
okay.
he's not used to using
But
it.
Yeah.
he has to make a dexterity save if he moves more than 10 feet
Yeah,
on his
he's
turn.
like hobbling, basically.
So there is no real running for Growl, because if he moves his full
There's
movement,
no
he fails.
retreat.
Yeah. If he moves more than 10 feet, he'd be moving 15. If he fails that dex save, he falls prone. He stays prone until his next turn.
Can Mana have confusion?
Can Mana have confusion?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sweet.
I mean, she's so small. Yeah, she can have confusion.
She's
but-
just gonna stay on my neck the entire time.
Can we have
I mean, I guess that's fair. If you die, she dies.
Yeah,
anyway.
100%. That's how we're going down.
a cavalry of Rapidash in Ponyta?
I love
How
that.
are you getting that?
Yeah, we get it. We get it.
We'll
because
find
we
it.
want it.
On the ranch,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Because you're getting ahead of me. On the ranch, yes, you can have that.
Okay.
In the fields, you'll have the Tauros herd. On the ranch, you'll have everything that the Woodses have been cooking up. So they've got.
So, for y'all's reference, here's what I have written down of like what I am prepping or prepping with a team member, a Tot.
So do we want to like just do that though? Like
Yeah.
you can
Yeah,
start and just do it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of why I'm doing this, is just to like get it all out in the open, because I've been saying them like in a row, but like just so I'm like crossing my T's and dotting my I's. Sonic cannons, the moat of fire from Mortar, the electric shock pads, the colony of bats from the Sierras, the sticky web and toxic spikes from the forest buggies, and then the spike pits just as they broach, like getting out of forest into like fields, like right there before they get to shock pads, sonic cannons, moat, they would have spike pits. I don't know how many we can make, but potentially just let them fall and perish. That's what I have written down.
Would the runes work on the Algium?
Which rune?
The
You
kill
die
'em one,
immediately
yeah.
rune.
You shall not. The you shall not pass.
you shall not pass.
The You Shall Not Pass rune?
Yes.
Within a certain radius, yes. But they can just go around it.
Oh,
to funnel them where we want them.
Yes.
Yes. That's why I'm
Perfect.
saying will it work on them?
That will be the bottleneck.
Okay.
Good work. Good work.
So it's a 30-foot range from
Okay.
a point you choose. So 15 feet on all sides.
Okay.
So plan accordingly. You
Okay.
have 6 runes that you can invoke.
So
After
they're
which
just
point
kinda
your
like
staff
bonk,
might
bonk,
explode.
Well, can I get help from what's his name? He's gonna be there, right?
Janusz?
Janusz.
Janusz will not be here, no.
Oh.
He's like,
The,
What have y'all done for me?
the people of Ediola are still rebuilding. They don't have anybody to send to you.
Oh.
It's Janusz and a new tribe of people. They don't have anyone to send.
Okay.
You will have.
well,
They're
you'll
alive,
have-
Okay,
Well,
okay,
that's
but
nice.
since it's prep time, can I have Claremont help me so I can get like a little extra, so I'm not limited to like.
I will say that
2
Claremont
runes?
can help you with runes. I'll
Yes.
give you an extra little bonus for anything. So I'll say he can do an extra 5-foot diameter, or not diameter, radius.
Yeah.
So you could have a 20-foot radius spot on all sides.
Yes.
If you do that rune. If you did like a might rune or something and it was like an extra die damage, he would give you 2.
Okay.
He'll assist you in that regard, but he's not able to like invoke his own other than the 3 that he knows.
Okay.
But I'll say he can enhance yours. That seems reasonable to me.
Okay.
Claremont can help you with that. I have given Mana confusion, and then I calculated her DC, and I'm terrified of her now. It's a DC 18 intelligence save.
oh my god, there's no way that they can even get
They
close to
can't
that.
succeed on that, which is kind of funny, but she only has 20 hit points.
Right.
She gets like
Her-
sneezed on.
Her armor class is a natural 1 attack roll, so
Yeah, but natural
Okay.
one still
natural 1 will
misses.
miss, but you have a 5% chance that she doesn't die in one shot.
Yeah.
So I will give you that, but okay. so
Hopefully
that's
she rolls
done.
a real high initiative.
When we start the fields one, I'll give you guys some time. I will put a map out and show you basically where your Golden Tower or your Greengate are. So when this falls, the fields will fall. And you can show me where the pools are, where your sticky webs are, your toxic spikes.
Yeah.
The
all
runes.
And
that
then
stuff.
the rune
runes
shall
where
not
you wanna-
pass, I think, is going to work perfectly to bottleneck them where we want them to
To
go.
throw it
Yeah.
out for you, because the runes, if you put them in a field, they'll just go around.
Well, it-
if you buttress them with the water, you could have it go so they either move through the water and drown, or they move in between. So you could do like rune water pools.
Yeah.
You could do that. Again, the lurcher will ignore it, but everything else will have to move through.
Including the amalgams.
The amalgams obey the laws of physics.
Okay.
It is only
Cool.
the lurcher that doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think
'Cause
this
those are
is-
nasty, too.
Yeah, because the amalgams is
But
kind
if
of
they
what
have
we're
to-
after, because the lurchers can just move through anything. So the amalgams would be what get injured or die from our prep, I think.
Those are all things you can do.
Baby.
There's
So-
also a chance that the Behemoths just die from your prep stuff, and you never have to worry about them transitioning effects.
That'd be
You guys have fought them
nice.
that's you know their HP's in the mid-60s.
Could
That's not
unheard
bad.
of- It's not unheard of to just
Yeah.
kill them in one shot.
True
Yeah.
that.
Milo, could,
Like, focus on
could
'em?
Bullet maybe recruit remaining birds?
The Pidgeys will be involved in phase 2. All the Pidgeys and Pidgeotos, if you want air support stuff,
I'm just thinking
they
'cause-
can go here or they can be in there. But if you send them out and they die, they won't be available in phase 2.
Okay,
But to
we
throw it
have,
out there,
we
you
have
can do that.
recruiting from the river and the ocean. We have the bats from the Sierras. We have the bugs from the forest. We have birds that are left. So we have land, air, and sea right now, which I think is pretty solid. I don't know if there's anything else we can think of to recruit from, but I think that's as good as we're gonna do.
What I will do is I will put I will add Pidgeotos from the Rooter Coops.
Yeah, because if anything
you can
was
use
gonna
them
get away,
to
it'd
drop
be
bombs, grenades, anything you want. But again, if they're out there, they're in range.
right.
But I'll put that out there. If you guys, I'll add it to your prep. I'll make sure it's on the map somewhere. You guys can use them. They might be a layer action.
Is there a distance that they can't close?
For flying?
No, I mean more like if they're flying, like say 120 feet above them, dropping,
dropping,
bombs.
right.
Can they pull them from 120 feet?
Probably
in
the
the air?
lurcher, but other
If
than
they can hit, yeah.
So I won't tell you the range on the swarm because you guys haven't cracked it yet.
Right.
okay.
But in theory, yeah, there is a range to it. It's not infinite.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is like maybe we have like a big bin of bombs that Ansem has made, and the Pidgeotos can grab them, fly as high as they possibly can without hurting themselves, and then drop bombs from as tall a distance as they can, and then keep doing that. So that they're not just sucked down
That's
and
an
killed
option.
immediately after they drop one bomb, you know what I mean?
catapults?
Yeah. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, there are some like construction individuals around.
A nice
There's a bunch
trebuchet.
of Claremont-esque like Machoke construction workers that can help you
Yes.
build and load stuff.
Okay.
That's why I'm not being super pedantic of like, well, you don't really have time to do. You have an
Like,
entire
this is what
town
it
of
is.
people that are like, we're gonna die. And they're
Yes.
willing to do anything.
Just
so.
loading like gravelers and golems into a trebuchet and just launching them.
Lighting them on
They
fire
just do
first.
explosion when they arrive.
Sorry,
Yeah.
buddy, but this is what
Oh,
it has
that'd
to be.
Sick. That'd be
Yeah.
a really cool way to go out. That's really fucked up to like force
Yeah.
them to do that, but that would be cool.
Self-destruct.
Let's just get the graveler from the lost session and
To help you guys out a little bit more, if you have a Pokemon that is rock or steel type, they cannot technically be unmade because they are inorganic. So the
Okay.
lurchers will move through them.
There
They'll
will be
still
a corpse.
They will still beat you to death, but they won't just unmake you if you die.
Oh.
So if you
Comforting.
survive the hits, so
Your body will remain if
to
you're
throw
made of
that out
rock.
for, if you throw a golem out of a catapult and it does self-destruct, it will land, and if it stabilizes, they'll just move past it.
Just use all the ones that weren't competitive, that they just were
The
rejects.
reject
Yeah,
gravelers?
just use all the reject ones.
No one wanted to treat me, so
that is a Ben playing the game mantra. I love that. Oh, 5 I've eaten. Get out of
Listen,
here.
if you can live with that decision, you can launch exploding gravelers out of a catapult.
It's tough because it's like I hate that, but also what is the choice? Like it's either we win or we
If you
die.
again, if you can live with yourselves
And-
for making that choice,
I think it's again like
You
it's
have that option.
I think it's just a recruiting
Some of
tactic.
you may die.
This is
and
a
that
total war.
sacrifice I am willing to take.
Are we gonna try to like build walls or anything?
No, they
Do you wanna
move
build
through
walls?
it.
Just the lurchers do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's kind of what the you shall not pass rune
you-
is,
Right.
Because they
But
can't
that's
go through
gonna
that.
bottleneck.
It's
I mean,
like,
we can.
They'll be like boom, 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 and then find the place to go through,
To
which is
help-
where we'll have like the shock pad. And
I
the
don't think it
moat
would
and the
hurt
sonic
to help
cannons.
have
I'm
additional-
saying more for like number
Bigger-
2
Yeah.
Yeah,
and number 3,
Yeah.
like setting up walls in
Absolutely.
between.
Or even like
to throw it out
spike
for
walls.
CJ, if you guys build a wall, you can build a battlement on there, and it'll give ranged attacks
Yeah.
an extra
So you
benefit.
can do
to the
like
range of
arrows.
damage.
Essentially what we're...
You
Yeah.
guys have guns.
What-
you guys
what
have
is it?
access to
Guns.
polymer
Have a whole-
cannons,
They're weak
Ship
to
full of
fire,
guns.
fairy, and what was the third?
Psychic.
fire, fairy, psychic, or if you can do thunder damage or anything sound based, because thunder is just
Not
noise.
electric, but thunder.
Not electric damage, but
Not
thunder
electric.
damage.
Did my shipment of psychic bullets arrive?
Do you want? So let me ask you. You have the
Yes.
polymer cannons. You have access to Ansem and Deep.
Yeah, can we just
you
make
wanna
as much of
melt
that
down-
as possible?
Well, if we made
We can melt down the psychic stone.
like a
Ooh,
spike
baby.
wall, could we infuse the spikes with like
That'd be sick.
fairy dust, for lack of a better like
You
make-
could like light them on fire. if you
Yeah, I
wanted
know
to do
that, but we kind of have
What
the
if
fire
we
mode
got the
already.
stones and made that the wall?
yeah, I mean, that's a great idea.
Like this.
But if they explode in the fight,
Then it could
We
be a
are-
really bad
but it
idea.
could be good.
But you're
also
going up
very bad.
against the lurchers are siege weapons,
Mhm.
which means their static damage of 85 if they hit a structure
Yeah.
is going to be 170 per hit.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's bad.
Ow.
If they hit,
I'm gonna veto that one.
Yeah, so
I
not
just thought of it.
stone walls,
you've
but
seen 2 stones explode. They
Yeah.
have 300 hit points per shard.
Yeah.
If you make a full spire, it has 900, but that's still not that many hits.
No.
And if one explodes, it will
Chain
deal
reaction.
Or
to the next-
it's okay.
and
We're
the
all
next-
dead
and the
anyway.
next-
can we make
Can
like
we-
grenades out of the charges for those
the
guns?
polymer cannons?
Yeah.
If that's what you want to use the charges for, yeah.
And could we make like exploding bullets?
In theory.
Could
What,
somebody?
the hollow point, is that what those are?
Yeah, like once they
Can
hit a
we
target, they like
Just
blow
do what everyone prepped while everyone comes up with these ideas, and then at least get that piece done, and then
Yeah, I'm
Come back.
writing down
Yeah,
stream of
yeah.
consciousness
He's
whatever you guys
writing it
come up
down.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah,
what we're doing.
I know.
Just
But
brainstorming.
I know everyone has like stuff they prepped for
with.
today.
Hollow point
Yeah.
ammo.
Yeah.
I've done that, and now I'm just.
I only
I'm
have the
on
one
borrowed
ghost
time.
thing.
Okay, so
I
let
don't have anything
me
else.
so let me real quick
do,
let
like,
me
one or
catch
two
up
other
to you
things
guys.
for fun, but
Let me take like 2 minutes to make sure I have everything that we want to do.
Okay.
Okay, so because I know we have a lot of other preps to do, so to keep us moving, I'm gonna go around the table. Anything that I didn't just mention in there, we're gonna handle now. So Meatloaf Rooster.
All of it.
Yep. Just
Okay.
go through because that was kind of our brainstorm sesh. I want to make sure you guys have a chance to voice your ideas, and then you can tag team in from there. But I want to make sure that I don't miss anything.
Okay.
Because this is the stuff that I get to work on for the next week or so. I'm excited. Okay. Hit me with it.
To start and ask about the Zatu.
Yeah. It's gonna arrive at
Okay.
some point.
All right.
Oh, don't you worry about that.
So
I didn't forget.
to start,
Ugly cry.
with my team, in short, be like, hey guys, I'm so proud of everything you did in that circuit. I know we've talked about this before, but the whole team did so good. You guys have really come together as a unit, and this could very easily be our best fight yet. And I'm excited to see what everyone can do when they've come together. That being said, everyone is super busy. Everyone is super stressed. There's a lot going on and a lot of preparation. But we still need to eat tonight. And I need all of you to work with Arjan to make a feast for the entire town, everybody here, so that we can have one nice party tonight before everything happens. So Arjan, you're in charge. Delegate as you need. You have everyone, Atticus, Pip included. Monty and myself, and I'll have to borrow Bullet, have a mission we need to do.
Okay, so Arjan is going to break the rules of magic, because who cares, and he's going to perform a town-wide Heroes Feast.
Oh, God.
So Arjan, please roll right now before I forget. Please roll 2d10.
Okay.
We're all gonna sit down like Kevin McAllister with his mac and cheese, and then the bell's gonna ding. We're like, all right, let's just fight.
Here we go.
Uh,
So this is an extremely important bonus that you're all
is
gonna
this
get.
a? Do I
2d10.
do I get my +5 for my walk on this? Or
That's
no?
why I made the walk.
I'll say yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Let's go.
That's
Because it's
why
not a
I
check.
made it.
It's just a
11
thing.
plus 5, so 16.
16. So when we start, everybody's maximum hit points will go up by 16.
Everything.
Everything in the town. Everything's gonna have 16 additional hit points.
That's good.
Very
Good stuff.
nice.
Hell
Very
yeah.
nice.
Everything has advantage on wisdom saves.
Okay.
I think that'll get a fair amount of things out of one hit KO
Everything
territory.
is immune.
I mean, at least on my team.
Well,
You're
they get
immune to
6
charm and
hits,
fear
so
effects.
if you
Sweet.
survive
Okay,
one,
that's pretty
the
good.
second
Oh,
one
immune
will
to
take
charm
care.
and fear too.
So
That
me
fear
too.
one's strong.
Yeah.
That's good. That's what we
Immune
need.
to charm and fear, which what I will say is will give you, if you ordinarily wouldn't get to roll against losing morale, I will give you a chance to roll against morale.
Okay.
Because I will consider fear and morale to be relatively close linked. Beautiful. So that's Arjan. I'm going to write that down here so we don't have to worry about it. We're going to do another big HP thing in a bit. But that'll be in addition to everything else.
Okay.
And Titania, I'm leaving you in charge to help Arjan as he needs, but use those tasks as training opportunities. And not in front of the team, but just to Titania. Like your two biggest focuses are Moonraker. He's been a little shaken lately, and I need him to be solid of mind. And given what I saw in Hillmouth with everything, I think Boomer's going to be integral with Feather Dance and helping as many people survive as possible. So I really want you to help the team out, but focus on those two while I'm gone.
A very metallic salute and a muffled screech.
Believe in you.
Okay. So you're headed off to do the thing?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to circle back to you. I'll say you got some travel time.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Okay. Phoebes. Any other preps that you'd like to make? Anything specific?
Just taking Monty. We're gonna.
I mean, I would like to set up like little triage areas where with the potions, so
Okay.
it's not like you got to use a move to heal somebody.
Okay. Roll for me. How many triage centers do you want to set up?
Big number.
So many.
The more
least
there
100.
are, the less effective each individual one will be.
3.
But
I was gonna say like 3 or 4.
Yeah. I mean, at the final like Ambercrag, would it just be that there would just like you could just go in the hospital and get like potion, or like there would be already stuff set up outside? I'm assuming.
That's
So
up
I wouldn't
to you.
really have to
That's up
set
to you.
anything up there.
That's what you're doing.
That's what you're doing.
Oh.
But if you put a triage center on like phase 1,
Yeah.
anything that's left there is gone.
Well, let's do 1 in the first area,
Okay. 1 in the fields.
2 in the second, and then the rest in the last one.
Yeah, because he said give me a number.
5. I'm just kidding. No, 1, 2, and then 3.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Mm.
Interesting.
I saw a pattern emerge there.
Yeah.
It's like you
I was a
put
good
1 in
joke,
the
but I
first
did.
stage, 2 in the second, and then 3 in the third.
So in the fields,
If I did 2 in each and then 3 in the last one, would that be too much?
you have. Well, what I'm going to tell you right now is we're gonna do some math. You have
Okay.
60 potions available to Ambercrag.
Okay.
Each one heals 2d4 plus 2 hit points.
So that'd be 10 at each
If you
station.
if you
So it'd be
do
30 at the last one, 20 in the middle, and 10
Yeah.
at the first.
So for every number that you
If you
give
split
there,
it.
Yeah.
if you did an odd number, I would round up for Pavilion and they would get more.
Okay.
But
So 10, 20, and 30.
Yeah.
so 10 potions in the fields, 20 in the ranches, 30 in the Pavilion.
Yeah.
It's a bonus action to drink one if you're a creature. You
Okay.
can run up and apply it to yourself.
You're thirsty.
Okay.
Parched.
Okay.
What
So that's
about so the forest is gone up in Greengate?
Everything northwest of Alluvia out to Xantha
Uh-huh.
might as well be the surface of the moon.
So the Frankenstein creature is probably gone.
Oh, that was the first thing to die in Greengate.
Oh, okay.
I
I thought maybe we could just bring it and
that's
then
what
release
rang
it.
in the siege. That added a lurcher to the total.
Okay.
God.
All right.
What if you brought it here and it like easily killed everything, and then we're like, oh no,
And then we have to kill
deal
it.
with
Yeah.
I'd rather,
Rather
be like
one enemy than
billions.
5 lurchers.
I mean,
Thousands dead.
are you at all? Are you just that curious about what the thing was?
Pearly gates.
a little bit.
Pearly gates.
Pearly
Same
gates.
for the pearly
Pearly
gates.
But I mean, it'd be
gates.
cool to have it to.
It would have been very cool, but yeah, no, they absolutely killed that thing immediately.
Okay.
They were like, that one, that will be a great lurcher. Yes, tear it down, tear it asunder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So triage centers with potions.
Yes.
Anything else Phoebe specific other than... This is pretty
Yeah,
much
there's
just
some-
like, tell me the stuff that you had prepped before we sat down today.
Okay.
And then we'll keep going. We're not gonna like wrap up immediately. But that's, for now, that'll be Phoebe's. And again, we'll circle back
Okay.
for the like 2 deal breaker evolutions.
Okay.
Get that going. D, is there anything that I'm missing from you, my dude?
A whole boatload, literally.
Hit me.
I'm gonna head out to the kind of like the Green River. I'm gonna hop in my dinghy that I rode up upon.
Yep.
And I'm gonna head out to what D claims as Blackwater Bay, the big ol' chunk of the Sierras that is now in the southern coast. And he will claim that for himself.
A little toothpick flag.
And how he does it is that at each ends he is going to release both of the water source stones that are there, and kind of put one at each end. And then he's gonna look at. He'll have Haka and Doubloon with him, and he'll be like, "You have been one of my best friends since I've started. It's only right that you and I can do this together." And Haka and I are both going to attempt to harness as much power as we can from the source stones.
You're gonna attune to a water stone?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, baby! Alright, well, Haka plants his 2 fists on there. Haka, my dude. We have some adjustments to make. As you plant your little hands on there, your little Poliwhirl hands. Haka goes to 92 hit points, AC of 16, and Haka, your proficiency bonus becomes 4 as you start to stretch in a direction. I have one decided for you, but you have sway here. If you would rather be a toad or a raft.
When you put it that way,
You gotta bring the.
Oh yeah.
you don't want to be a toad?
I'm
already a toad.
Given that Haka has constantly been the upfront fighter, the always in the face, and seeing that Polytoad had potential, but he has definitely seen that he is stronger, he will probably lean towards the Wrath.
Okay. Haka, as you start skipping leg day and swell to be a massive torso, bulk, your strength score becomes 24.
Whoa! You could suplex a
Mama.
train, dude.
And we will adjust your attacks accordingly between now and later.
Yes, sir.
You become source infused, which means, similar to a certain gator from a few moons back, you're gonna get some adjustments to your abilities. Most notably, you can create, destroy, and redirect bodies of water. You can change any damage you deal to add or remove the water typing. You can freeze and melt ice, walk on water, and grant a swim speed to friendly creatures. And you maintain water absorb on top of all that. That's a lot of stuff.
Yes, sir.
Dude, nice.
I got a novel.
Well
Let's
done.
go.
Yep, so that's Haka.
Props.
As Haka... Oh my god! For you, D, that water stone just begins to resonate with the tuning fork that is Wave.
Yes, sir. That was my intention.
And, yeah, it's already been awakened, but it'll get some extra stuff.
Yeah.
I'll put a little extra sauce in there for you.
Cool.
So I'm going to add that to the...
Yeah, because
list
Milo's
of
whole
things to
thing
do.
was make sure that there is a person and a Pokemon with it, so D is making sure that he sticks to his wishes.
If there's more for D, we'll circle back in a bit.
Perfect.
To allow for some travel times.
Yep.
Mr. J, I know you have some things you want to do.
Yeah, can I ask a question
Yeah.
first?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we get Bang a range fire move?
Is that what you want him to work on?
Potentially, yeah.
Okay.
Whether it's
kind
like
of
like a flame ball, it
Like
could
a
kick
burning
like a
hands?
ball of fire, or it could like do something
will-
to send fire out of his legs when
You
he's
wanna-
doing kicks or something. I don't know.
You want to turn him into like a Mario Super Strikers? Like a Koopa running under the fire?
That'd kinda be badass.
Let me double check what level Bang
Any
is.
sort of range fire attack.
Yeah,
I don't really
so-
care what it is.
So Bang, you are 12th level. I will give you 12 key points.
Okay.
And I will give you the abilities of the Sun Soul Monk to, when you make another attack, you can burn a key point and throw a fireball at somebody.
Bruh.
Cool.
Like a fireball?
No, like a
Okay.
ball of fire, not
Gotcha.
I'll let you scale it if you want to go Nova. You can throw some extras on there.
As
Okay.
long
Go-
as you
Shots
didn't
on
give him away of the 4 elements.
Go Kamehameha.
there.
You
He
can
goes
spend all your key
Kamehameha.
points and do a firebolt, and you're like, oh, sick.
Use your KP. Go big.
Okay, you're gonna get 12.
Just came him, huh?
So I'm gonna
Kamehameha.
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 Kamehameha. So 12 key points. I'm gonna give
Kamehameha.
you the Sunshot, and I'll say you can do three KPs
Sorry, I'm hiding.
for Fireball.
3 KP.
Cool.
Because as we know, Fireball is
Three Krabby
one of the
Patties.
greatest things.
Or is that where you're
We've ever
hiding
done.
your
Okay,
rocket?
so we'll start that with Bang.
Okay.
Cool.
And
Nice.
then I'll kind of take everybody back to my little cave.
Okay.
Where it all started. And kind of let them know
Full
the
circle.
gravity of the situation that we're getting into, but that we're gonna kick everybody's ass like we always do.
Mhm.
And then we're gonna have our own little battle royale. And we're just gonna have a big ass wrestling match with everybody on the squad
Beautiful.
going crazy.
Yeah.
Who wins?
CJ.
Oh my god.
No, honestly, I think
That's
it
rigged.
would come down to me, Crash,
Yeah.
Bang, and Chicky Baby.
Cut to a slow-mo. Bark dives towards CJ. You just palm him into the dirt.
Get out of here!
Guys, I beat the shit out of my team. They're really injured.
They're all like, oh,
Everybody's
dude, there's
dead.
an invasion tomorrow. My
I
arm's
decided to
broken."
kill them first. But no, I think it would come down to the 4 of us, and ultimately, I think Chicky Baby would come out on top.
Interesting.
Always.
Team Mom for the win.
She got that mom
She
strength.
is strong. She is beautiful.
She
is wrathful.
She is kind.
She is a badass.
She is tired.
And then
Thought you were setting up for an Evo.
no,
I tried to
She's
softball
already-
it to you.
no, I.
Yeah.
She's
CJ's already.
already done
Put
that.
a pin and
She's already
softball it to you, because I got some interesting plans happening.
I mean, I
Son of a
don't.
pitching machine.
Yeah.
Just Home Alone this.
I mean, you're not wrong, kind of.
Hey. Okay. So wrestle with the team.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I will go with Desmond, and we will enter the ghost realm.
Yeah.
And go looking for anybody who will answer the call.
As you and Dez enter the world between worlds, you find a liminal space flooded with recently departed souls. Not the least of which, Boyd, Parker, Elena. People you don't recognize. This kind of weird mid-40s guy in like a plate armor, kind of a scraggly beard, hand on the shoulder of Elena. You find no shortage of souls willing for a second chance at vengeance and redemption. Willing to lend you the blade of the woods, the rosewood blade. No shortage of armaments. You see some long departed souls, like Cordelia and Arthur, Maestro, half of Watalonga.
Get out! Get out! Yo!
Three choices lie before you. You may have Shepherds, who are very good at hit-and-run tactics. You may have Duskulls, that are very good at taking a few hits. Or you can have Ghastlies, that are very good at range, but quite squishy.
I
Choice
love
is
that
yours.
CJ is just Aragorn.
That's the exact gif I sent to him when
It
he said
is.
what he wanted to do.
He's already
Yeah.
done this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, it
This
remains
was-
sick.
Because this is what was going to happen right before you gave it away. I gave you the option. We were going to start to assemble your ghost army. They've been waiting for you for months.
Been chilling.
So, you don't have to decide now, but whatever legion you get will get a bonus to a certain thing. Either
Okay.
its range, its armor class, its health, or its damage.
Do I get any sort of idea of what the other two ghost armies are going to be, or is that just going to be her with like a lot of different stuff?
Deirdre is not using Pokemon ghosts.
Okay.
She's zombies.
That's
Deirdre, Deirdre's
Necromancer?
really weird and kind of scary. But she's on your side.
I dig
Yay.
it.
So
I dig
she's
it.
there.
That's all,
I dig
that's all
it.
that matters,
I'll
baby.
dig
I was
it.
really getting a kick out of the Discord conversation about Deirdre. They're like, everyone, like, the Quiver even says she's weird. I go, she is weird. She's like 400 years old. She's kind of scary. She's a little cracked.
She's a badass. Love that. Creepy lady.
They're like, she's never spoken. And I go, yes, she has. Give it time. Okay. So CJ, you have the option. CJ calls upon the army of the dead.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, buddy.
But as you're in that liminal space, nobody speaks to you. They all just look. But you see Arthur, your pal from 5 years ago at this point.
Dude.
His very kind and tired eyes behind his glasses. He's got some tears welling up in his eyes, knowing that Ruby's been well taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
He just gives you a nod and kind of puts a hand over his heart.
Do the same thing.
You see Cordelia standing not in rocket regalia, just in street clothes.
Okay.
Kind of pounds her chest twice, gives you the up nod, flips you off, and then turns and walks away.
Of course.
You see Elena and Boyd, Deacon, Xavier. They all give you a subtle nod and kind of bow their heads at you, knowing that where they've been, you're headed.
Comforting.
Yeah.
But it's at that point that liminal ghost world begins to collapse around you, as off in the distance you see a man with glowing white palms. He starts rushing towards you, leaps into the air, and Desmond claps his hands together and throws you out of the ghost realm.
Oh.
And as you two finish your attunement to the ghost stone, is it still your wish to enhance Desmond?
Yeah.
All right. Then Desmond not only has tiny little hands,
Yes.
he's got little feet.
Oh.
So Desmond will
What?
go from a scout barely capable of fighting to a fully combat-ready, source-infused Gengar.
Yes.
so
One of the
convenient.
best
I love it.
Pokemon designs. I love it.
Gengar's the best.
Nice.
2/8, baby.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So that's plus 22.
Love that.
Puts Desmond at a clean 100 hit points.
Nice.
Dude, even?
Solid.
Heck yeah.
Woo! Woo! Okay. Well, CJ, as you and Dez finish your attunements to the ghost stone.
That's sick.
The two literature hits.
Perfect.
Desmond is ghost type, so it's still only one.
Yeah, well.
But it's at range.
That's why you make them range, baby.
Yep. Okay. So I'll circle back through. I want to make sure that we don't put anybody on the sidelines too long. Bentley Woods, any other preps you'd like to make, or do you want to dive into your evolutions of choice?
Yeah, so Bentley would just be on the ranch, just like playing catch with a baseball with some members of his team, just trying to have like some degree of like childhood fun that he has been robbed of for most of his childhood, I would say. Trying to not think about what's to come, but then eventually would have to. But he would like to like set up as a catcher and give Apophis the ball. So he would like drop his rune of self-respect as like a mound under him, and Apophis would pitch to Manny, who would be hitting, and then Tallulah is just like in the outfield trying to shag fly balls basically. But Apophis is like really naturally good at just throwing stuff and has like really nasty like spin and curve and stuff. So Manny's like really struggling to hit the ball, and Bentley thinks that he sees like through his catcher's mask that Apophis is doing rune glow just for shits and gigs, but it is a very different kind of glow. And Apophis grows a little larger, gets a little beefed up in those arms, and Manny is just a little bit embarrassed. He's like, all right, I gotta hit one of these things, and so Apophis just burns one in there, and Manny with the bone as his bat would just hit an absolute nuke off of Apophis, and Tallulah would just turn tail and just fly as fast as she can. But seeing that it's going to land in the River Green, that's how far he's hit this ball, she's realizing like, I need hands if I'm gonna catch this thing. So again, Bentley just sees like a flash of light, and it's like blinding, it's so bright. And she comes flying back, and she's just holding the baseball in a newfound hand.
Oh, heck yeah, baby.
But then he would just have a little powwow with the full team, like get everybody in like a round table and just kind of like sit down on the ranch where everything kind of started for him. Just kind of take in the moment, like I'm here with my family back where I grew up, and it's like, as crappy as this situation is, it's like, this is the place that I would want to be at the end. And just tell the team, all right guys, this is probably going to be our final fight. I love you guys, and I just want to say, fight for Rose, fight for Klaus, fight for Shadow, fight for Dragon, fight for us, fight for this world, and just do what you always do. I would not want to battle with anyone else. And then he'll have a little powwow with Manny and Tallulah and tell them his like spike pit plan, and kind of send them off to do diggies, potentially go and recruit Derby for that.
That's our squad power up there. We're going to circle back to Mr. Rooter. Okay. As you fly off in the direction of the once and potentially future Solar Scion.
Well, I'm seeking out
We're seeking
Lugia first.
Okay. But yes, you know where to find Salil Alria.
Yeah.
She is the tailwind ever at your back. All you have to do is start flying in a direction.
Okay.
She'll find you.
We'll do that.
Okay.
A stride bullet with Monty in tow.
Okay. As you fly into the wind as opposed to with it. Doesn't take long. You run into Salil Alria, Raklat Al-Muhajim, and Yamil Hamayatan.
Whoa. Okay.
Find all of them up in the clouds. Not far off from a rift in space, newly opened.
Interesting. Okay. Hello, friends.
Hello again.
Yes. So, I heard from Sunny that you guys are heading home.
We are.
I'm very happy to hear is an option for you. I did want to ask before you go. Last time we spoke, we talked about your counterpart, Salil Al-Shams, who's sealed away, and it was mentioned that if we were to try to free them, you would kill me. But now that you're leaving, I didn't know if that changed your mind, if you wanted to take them with you.
The thought has crossed my mind many times. And if the opportunity arose, I would go against the will of God to bring them with us.
Okay, because we've opened one of these before. I can't guarantee that it would be successful, but I'd be willing to help since you helped so much with my plan to get you guys home. I would just ask that you consider on the way out a parting shot at this enemy of lunar creatures. I understand if you can't stay and don't want to fight to the death, but at least like while you fly by, just like one big hit or something. Something.
If you free my beloved, I will ensure that the world never forgets everything you've done for them.
That's a promise they can't necessarily keep.
Or in a good way.
Salil Al-Shams will bring the stars to your door
Oh my god.
and litter the fields with your enemies. Such is the wrath of the Solar Scion.
And then you guys would leave.
And then you will never hear from us again.
That's kind of unfortunate, but if you guys are wanting to go home, it makes sense, and I don't blame you.
Our world is soon to be host to a newly hatching lunarch. It may be fitting for us to be there when it hatches.
That's fair.
Oops.
That's fair. Okay.
Oops.
Wonder who
But
did that.
we will have the power to
Kind of
intervene
that's like
there.
such a coincidence. It's definitely not because of me.
I don't think it's related to what happened here.
That's certainly not. It's too far away.
I mean, she knew what she was doing when she helped you do this.
Yeah.
There was always a chance.
share the blame. Okay.
We can start pointing fingers now, or
Yeah,
not,
let's do it.
When the stars fall, I will ensure that the ashes land only on your companions.
Okay, you mean like the city though? Like everybody that's not
Wait,
the-
You will remain untouched.
Yeah, but like who all are we talking about?
Anyone you deem worthy.
Oh, okay. Can I how big is this blast? Or is it gonna hit like the whole region?
Only a few square miles.
Okay, that's not too bad. Okay.
Perfect.
You will be in charge of when and where it falls.
Okay. And everyone that's there can be safe that I choose.
Every one of your choice.
Okay. All right. I agree to this. I appreciate it. Appreciate your help always.
Oh, the fun and chaos we've made together over the years. All right. I shall fly you where we're headed,
Okay.
and she will carry you aloft with Bullet.
I can send Bullet back. We're good.
Okay.
Just in case.
Send Bullet back home.
Monty will come with me though.
Okay. You and Monty fly on the back of Lugia. You arrive in a field of volcanic rock, then sand, then pure darkness. You pass through the ghost realm and over an infinite sea, until eventually you stand in a field of white, and caged in a very rudimentary array of stones.
A rudimentary?
Hey!
That means I have the
Is-
key. It's easy.
Is an enormous phoenix-like bird with rainbow feathers and an outstretched beak, whose eyes are magnified tens of times through the various crags in the stones present. Greetings.
Yeah, yes, hello. Hello, Salil Al-Shams. I've heard much about you,
I'm sure you have.
and we've found a way for you to get home.
Yes, word reached me. Your titles precede you.
Yeah, there's something we're looking at trying to change. So, we're here with your friends. They're here to try to set you free, get you guys home. I was talking to Sulil Arya here about the potential of a parting gift, if you will.
If you break the locks, the stars will fall on those who oppose you.
Okay, at least they're consistent with their messaging. So, all right, here we go.
You shall stand unburned in the fields, and I shall give you a feather.
Okay. Here we go. Hail Mary, and try to do the same solution
Repeat
as
your-
last time.
For the sake of brevity, the last one
Should have
took
spending
3
6
days.
hours.
I will say that you remember well enough the solution to the prior as you begin marking down stones, breaking golden tethers from above. As the calm and quiet of the white liminal space around you gives way instead to a field not far from the lunar horde, as a Ho-Oh emerges from this space.
I would also like to say in the travel, the reason Monty's here is in case setting 2 things free that have been imprisoned by literally God, I may become imprisoned, that he needs to carry out the remainder of the plan.
As you open your second
Uh-huh.
uncrackable cell,
Yeah.
Milo Rooter,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give you these.
Okay.
I would love for you to roll them,
Uh-huh.
and I would love for you to roll a 94 or below.
No pressure.
I am
You got this.
butthole puckered.
96.
96?
Yeah.
No, that's 69.
Oh, 69. Sorry.
Oh, dude, you scared the shit
Come on, man. Jesus.
No way.
Instead, you got nice. Otherwise, I was gonna say, Joel, you can leave. Okay. You managed to
Holy fuck, Joe. Oh, God.
you managed to stop my heart for a second there, and then you do manage to avoid the eyes of the Mukadimat, as you are not unmade and imprisoned for all time.
Yeah.
That scared me.
There is a reason that
Because you read
shit
the
out
dial
of
reverse.
Oh my God.
there's a reason
Scared
that
the
like
shit out of all
scions
of
have
us.
been begging you not to get the Mukadimat involved.
Yep.
Oh my god, Joel.
Did it anyway.
They just look at you and go, nice.
Yep.
And move on.
God,
Yeah.
dude.
I was like, you made it so close to the end.
That'd be
Get
such
out.
a shitty way to go.
Oh my god. I was
Pretty
because I
funny.
don't even have to ask you, hey, do you have fewer than 1,000 hit
What
points?
happened to
Yeah, yeah.
Milo?
Okay. You're dead forever.
He's gone.
Jesus.
What, he just left? Yeah, I guess.
You fly up, you tell D as a joke, I'm out, I'm never coming back, and then you never come back.
And
And
then
Monty
you
comes
don't.
back, he's like, bro, like you got stolen away, man. Oh my god.
It's
Okay.
like,
He's
I
trapped.
wasn't kidding.
Oh.
I'd be like,
I'm actually like dizzy. So, good lord, man. Okay, you managed to not be sealed away, and you
good.
are given one of Ho-Oh's feathers,
Okay.
with which you may cast Starfall. It is a 12th level spell. It affects a 1 mile radius, and you may spare any number of friendly creatures and or structures. It is a dexterity saving throw,
Ooh. Okay.
or any creature that fails suffers 80d6 fire damage.
80?
80d6 fire damage.
8-0.
Half on a success. It will then coat any number of creatures in Sacred Ash, rendering them immune to the additional effects of critical hits and immunity to fire damage.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, so like all the protected creatures get the ash on them.
As the ashes of your enemies will coat your skin for the duration of that battle.
Ashes
metal
to
as hell.
ashes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Alexa, play Despacito.
Okay. Oh boy.
Now then, he who walks in both worlds, prime mind, child of man, you have my undying gratitude for setting me free.
Well, to be honest, I wouldn't have done it without Alria here, so you have them to thank for it.
My beloved, we have a world to save. Best of luck, young Milo.
Good luck to you as well. And I'm sorry that your ticket home came with a fight.
It won't be much of a fight when we're done.
I like that.
Now take what I have given you and save your world.
Thank you.
And with one flap of the wings, there's like a big crackle of like ancient joints and bones as little wisps of fire land on the ground and just kind of smolder the ground beneath your feet. As the 2 birds and now 3 dogs head off towards a rift to return home. Milo Rooter, you are in possession of 1 starfall feather.
Sweet. It's worth it.
I'll say
Huge.
we'll cover some flybacks, but Phoebes, have you considered your 2 Evos?
Yes.
Who are we doing?
We're gonna do Chester.
Chester?
Yeah. And we're gonna do Gleek.
Wow.
Okay.
But
Chester
what is
Gleek.
Gleek going
Gleek.
to?
Gleek's
Interesting picks.
tall boy.
Yep.
Let's go.
Gleek's gonna be a tall boy.
A tall drink of water.
A tall drink of water, that's Gleek.
Gleek.
Okay, we will start with whoever I run into first. Gleek is right above Chester.
Okay.
So Gleek, your type is no longer psychic if you do that. Are you okay with that? You're gonna become grass dragon if you go tall.
I thought he stays psychic.
No, he's Grass Dragon.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Tiny Chubs stays psychic. Tall boy for no reason gets the dragon typing. I don't know why.
Dragon fruit.
I mean, it's more of a dragon than Charizard, let's be real.
No.
You're changing your mind.
But I want to keep the psychic.
Okay.
Can she go psychic dragon?
Psychic
Do you want to be?
Yeah.
3 types?
Okay, hold on. So here's the deal I can make you.
'Kay.
You'll lose absorb and yoke bomb.
Okay.
You do that.
If I do.
If you become psychic dragon.
Oh.
I will say, if Gleek attunes to either the psychic or the dragon stone, I'll give you what you want. But you know what that means. Which means Gleek
She wasn't there for that, but
Okay.
there
Yeah.
were when I
So-
texted you, if they attune, there's downsides long term.
Oh.
If Gleek survives,
Yes.
Gleek will be on a clock.
It shortens their lifespan and all this
Just like
stuff.
how Nubster is. Because
Right.
like the stones are embedded
Yeah.
in now Haka.
Right. Right.
It's what Crash would have been.
Right.
So there will come a day where Gleek becomes the stone he attuned to.
Okay. Okay.
So I will throw that out for you.
Yeah.
That's an option.
Yeah.
You can do that. If you attune to psychic, you can. I'll say you can keep grass or sub it in for dragon. If you attune to dragon, you can kick grass or psychic off. Either one.
Well, I feel like we gotta go dragon psychic.
Okay.
Because that's just cool.
Which stone do you want to attune to?
Let's do the psychic.
Source infused Gleek.
Yes.
There was an objectively better choice there. Please.
Yeah.
I would have done the dragon just for the thematic.
Oh, I see it.
So if you
Change.
source infuse with dragon stuff, the only hint we've seen so far in the game was when Star was starting to lean into some dragon influences.
Oh.
When you source infuse with dragon, your AC goes way up. You become much harder to hit and kill. You get some specific immunities, but you don't get like extra damage.
Right.
You become deadlier. You become much harder to track down and kill. Okay, so Gleek, it brings me no pleasure to say this, but Yoke Bomb is going to get reworked.
Okay.
Psybeam will be reworked because your target can't be covered in yoke anymore.
Right.
Absorb will go away.
Okay.
And we'll update Reflect. So Gleek's gonna have an entirely new moveset.
Gluck.
Can I get some? Yeah. Is it gonna be something in lieu of Absorb, or is it just going away?
You're gonna get 3 new moves.
Okay.
But you'll be reworked a little bit. Chester.
Chester.
Similar story. Are you infusing to a stone to do it?
Yes.
Chester can relatively safely attune to fire or water.
Okay. Well, we gotta go fire.
Okay.
I was like, I think I took all the water ones.
You can. Well, basically,
I do
like
have one
at some
free one.
point.
You
Yeah.
can share.
Yeah.
No.
Get out of here.
The reason like Gleek had access to the dragon is he was going to gain the dragon type, so technically he would evolve and then go attune to psychic and get it back.
I see.
But if Chester goes to a type that he's not, there are drawbacks to it.
He will die.
It'll be fire, baby.
Fire?
Yeah.
Okay. Chester attunes to fire. Well, Phoebe, as you take Gleek and Chester to the field of source stones. Behold, my children! Look at the boons of the gods! Chester attunes
Wow, I
to the
turn
fire
into-
stone.
What's his name?
Harry Carey.
He sprouts 5 more points out of his back. There's a horrible, like, sizzling sound, like when you put a crab in a pot of water.
Oh.
As he stretches and doubles the amount of limbs he has. And similarly for the Gleeks, they go as they stretch up. Their neck is now approximately like 30 feet in the air. Oh God! Oh!
Can they have a bunch of coconuts with like all the heads
It's
instead
just
of
neck
just like
tumors.
3?
The guy from
I didn't want this.
Total Recall.
Faces pushing through the bark skin.
Let's put him back.
Undo that.
Just go
Be
come out of
fun.
this misery. Oh God.
There's Gluck. though.
Gloop.
Help
That was
me.
smart though. He got rid of their lunar weakness and added them to because grass is weak to lunar.
Yeah.
All right. So Crash, you should recognize your old stat sheet.
There it is.
A couple things are going to remain from your old life. Crash pick, well, one is kind of chosen for you because you're a strength boy. So your strength goes to 24. And then pick 2 stats to go up by 1. Well, Crash, it's been a long road for you, buddy. And at the 11th hour, as you're training, holding your breath in the Green River, trying to meditate, lashing out, remember dying, coming back, failing to protect your friends and succeeding in the past, you just begin to glow and swell and you roar, thinking about your predecessor, your teacher, the one who blessed and cursed you with the power that led to your death. And you roar and you rise up out of that water. Now an incredibly large, ferocious-looking alligator. Similar in size to your predecessor. You are a huge creature.
Oh.
You are enormous. As you rise up, you roar. You see Milo and Monty being borne aloft by the tailwinds, flying back into town. You see Manny arrive with a swarm of bats.
Oh.
You see a number of tiny bugs begin spinning up. Some little webbies as your preparations are underway. Mila Rooter, as you return, you see Dee with a Polyrath. You see Doubloon. You see Moonraker, and they're kind of testing each other. They're flying together. Sell it to me, boys. What does it look like?
I'll let
What
you start.
happens?
I'll go after you.
Why? You start.
Because I want you to start.
Why?
Because I know you have an
'Cause I'm
idea what you
nervous.
want to do.
I want to ping off of your idea.
But I want to ping up. No, you.
All right.
You guys should just both
Somebody's
go
gotta
at the
ping this
same
pond.
time. Don't stop talking.
Just
Yeah.
talk over one another.
An amalgam of noise is how they evolve. They're just squawking at each other until they evolve.
I like it.
If you want, I can start. If you really don't know.
Yeah, you go.
Okay. I will have kind of similar to what we were practicing on the ship before, Drew. With Doubloon, he's going to kind of see his brother, and they'll kind of begin to pick up one another, like the tailwind and like the storm. Moonraker or Doubloon will then dive down into the water and begin to kind of enlarge his gullet underneath, and to help and to not necessarily shoot at Moonraker, but kind of let him being able to quickly maneuver through it more easily, and he'll kind of do those like dive bomb drops. And then
using his tailwind abilities to enhance the dodging capabilities of himself, while also trying to throw Doubloon off with some currents to make it harder. So it's just this, but he's still getting hit. So like it's this weird push me pull you situation where we're both like benefiting each other, but also like hindering each other at the same time. And then I imagine all this wind and water will kind of culminate, partnered with Haka's new larger form. He can't help but hot step in this moment. And make a little rain. He's just he's not doing it on purpose, but the two of these birds create basically a typhoon, and it's too strong for them, and they're stuck in it, whipping around until they grasp feet within, and they come up immediately with an escape plan out of here, and kind of form a giant like double helicopter with their wings as they spin around and cut up this typhoon and get larger in the process.
Oh yeah,
beautiful.
So everyone's prepping for this meal. They're gathering ingredients for the whole town. It's literally a hook feast of whatever you can imagine. Yeah. We're gonna cook whatever's in the pantry.
Even Ruby can help because she gathers double the ingredients.
It's everything that we can cook. Everyone can have literally their ideal meal.
Yeah.
There are some leftovers though, and in a true hook fashion, there's gonna be a little bit of a food fight. But they're going to be. Titania's going to use this as a learning opportunity. So she's going to take both Atticus and tell everyone else to try to hit them with food, and tell Boomer it's his job to keep them safe and do what he must. With his feather dance and other abilities at play to keep them up as long as possible. And he's doing a fairly good job. But as time goes on, there's a lot of team members, and it gets a little ridiculous as he is just covered in yolk and other foodstuffs. And he's just become a food statue. And everyone's like, oh, we went a little too hard. But then it starts to heat up and melt in there as all the food kind of sloshes away, as in a moment of trying to figure out how he'd get out of this situation, he heated up his beak as hot as he could to get all the food off.
What a baller. All right. As you emerge, a full-born toucan, beak ablaze. Everyone on your team, from the biggest bigs to the smallest smalls, understands that this is their last night of normalcy.
Yeah.
Anything after tonight, even if they live, no one is going to be the same. So despite the jovial atmosphere and Arjan's cooking, there is an undertow for everyone of
dread.
It's been real, and everyone's kind of all holding back those fear tears.
Yeah.
But everybody's just a bit nervous. But there's still time to do stuff. Does anybody come up with any other siege preps they might like to make, at least for the fields?
I have one more thing that I just want to make sure it gets knocked out.
Hit it, buddy.
I will submerge myself and Haka into the water, and I will call the siren to me and tell her to usher both of my ships.
Yeah.
Valet?
Garçon!
Valet!
I've ordered my ships.
I have a nice tip for you.
I'm going to bring Neek out when we get onto the ship, and it's going to be very much as much as I'd like to see my dad and say hi and stuff like that. There's a clock.
Yeah.
So me and Neek are going to rush to the bottom of into the bilge, and we are going to finally make essentially a healing rifle that is Neek's size that will shoot the privateer darts. But instead of that necrotic poison, it will shoot a healing salve that Neek will be able to hit people from a distance with.
Love that.
Okay. Roll me.
You're healed.
Roll me 2d6 and add 4 for Neek's proficiency bonus.
Cocked. Unless it was a 6.
That was a 5. So 7 plus how many? 4? So 11.
Okay. You have 11 healing syringes.
Okay.
They can shoot 120-foot short range.
Yep.
600-foot long.
Yep.
Holy cow.
Regardless of hit or miss, they will impact.
Yeah.
So if they hit and inject into the grass,
It is what it is.
grass.
Yeah.
Pretty flower will
There
go
you go, Flower.
And then we will also take
Water.
some of the healing potions, but we will make them what look to be almost like Molotov cocktails, and they will basically be able to throw and kind of like heal any wounds as like a grenade.
Okay. What is Neek's...
The visual, this is so funny.
What's Neek's intelligence modifier?
2.
The healing syringes will heal 6 hit points.
Cool.
Can Ansem make some more of those, like, loud
Noisemakers.
noisemakers?
Yeah.
That,
You want them to?
yeah.
But instead of noise, it's they die.
Because
the noisemakers
they're weak,
die?
because they're
No,
weak
the
to
enemies.
sound,
Oh.
yeah. They do a little bit of thunder damage.
To be able to throw in
What's
as
that?
need be.
Do the vitamins stack, or can they stack?
Yeah, like could you get multiple shakes?
Well, I still have the Aran Iron and the Charizard Chai, so I'll probably want to obviously wait until the battle is imminent because they last for a minute, but I would give both of those to Mortar.
Okay. Yeah, I will throw for you, especially in phase 3. Anthony, that's where Anthony will be. Anybody that wants one in phase 3, you just let me know what 2 you want to chug right before the battle starts. You can have them. I'll make sure to print them out so you guys can see them. But yeah, that's a thing you can do. I'll say at any stage, if you guys want to drink two things from Anthony, he will churn them out. It's on the house because the house won't be here much longer. So those are available for you.
Do you have his, like, list of them?
So the iron is the +1 AC, half damage from bludgeoning. There's a protein mixer, the Pangoro protein. +1 to damage rolls for 10 minutes and advantage on athletics checks for an hour. Carvana Carbos booster, +1 to attack rolls for 10 minutes, +5 to movement speeds for an hour. Zangoose Zinc is +1 to all saving throws for 10 minutes, resist poison damage and advantage against the poison condition. Charizard Chai, +1 to attack and damage rolls for a minute, 1d4 additional elemental damage for an hour. Hariyama, 5 temp HP, advantage on con checks for an hour. So anything that concentrates,
Okay.
that'll give you advantage on those. And then the Bellossom Restoration Tea, advantage on all saving throws and resistance to status effects for an hour. That's those. Again, I'll get a little printout of those. I'll add them to the resources you'll
roster.
have. Those are the kinds of things that I need you to track.
Right.
Who has what?
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember.
I
Okay.
highly recommend, having done it for the other sieges, that when you get that sheet of what your default attack is, just factor all that stuff in. So
Right.
you know, like, this overall is a +10 to hit.
Yeah,
right.
And this.
If your guys have a thing where it's like, hey, for a minute, get this buff, it stacks X amount of times, just assume you're at the max when we start the fight.
Okay.
Factor all that stuff in.
Okay.
But yeah, so that'll be... That's Anthony's contribution to this. He's just going to be churning that stuff out as much as possible.
Right.
Do I still have my shield from the Psychic Stone?
Yes.
And if I use it, are there...
No.
No.
That was given to you by
Okay.
Tua.
I just want to work on that a little bit to see if I can conjure it. And what I'm imagining is that little punchy shield bit that, like, Captain America has when they're in Wakanda, where it's got, like, the 2 spikes, but it's still a shield, so I can punch
when
stuff.
T'Challa says, get this man a shield, and instead he gets, like, 2 gloves.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's not a shield.
I just want one so I can punch
Okay.
Elgims in the
Yeah.
face.
There's nothing
Punch.
funnier to me than he does this and very dramatically, like a little pen. Goes,
Yeah.
And I'm like, boo!
Drew, did I get my grenades or no?
Yep.
Okay.
You have grenades.
How many? Well, the healing ones that we were talking about.
Oh, that's right. I went off.
No, you're good.
Enough.
You have, I'll say 6, because if Neek's been working on him, I'll give him 2 plus his proficiency. So you'll have 6.
Okay.
And
Also,
they'll do
noisemakers.
healing grenades.
And
There's
just-
no save because
It's
you
AoE.
want it to happen.
I'm giving those to Phoebe because I'm pretty sure with your class you get extra bonuses to healing things. So if you just dump it on a group of allies.
I'd want like Claremont to have like a belt of noisemakers.
Okay. That can be arranged.
That'd be sick.
Um,
Also, Bentley has 2 guns.
Mhm.
Would it be possible on his turn in battle to use action to shoot a gun and then bonus action to shoot like the other gun for our purposes, or no?
yeah, and if you run out there akimbo,
Yeah, that's basically what he's gonna be doing.
yeah, you
Can-
get 2 shots.
Can
Because again, I'm gonna update your guys' sheets, so like any of you that have attacks, you can take 2 in a turn. It's fair.
is Claremont big enough to have like the sonic cannon? Like you could have it strapped to him and then
So
like
the
a-
literal
like a
CJ
rocket
Sonic
launcher?
cannon, yes.
Okay.
But the cannons that you guys want to build are gonna be like a tower
Oh, okay.
that shoots sound at a specific point.
Okay.
But the idea is that you need multiple concentrated bits of sound to
Uh-huh.
actually affect what's there.
Right.
So you're gonna have a bunch of towers, but they can shoot a certain number of times a turn because
Right.
you have to coordinate them.
Same thing.
Drew, last question.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to do the ice stone thing or no?
The ice stone thing.
Yes, of my message with you. I
For
left that
Fang?
as like a last one for Fang.
For Fang, you have a choice.
Yes.
And I know I've already explained it to you. If you give him an ice stone, his stat block is going to look very similar to Maya's. And if you give him a fire stone, he's going to be a baller Arcanine, but he's going to kind of suppress that other ability.
Yeah. Because D now knows his past and he wants to stick to close to what that is, he's going to lean towards keeping that ice thing.
Okay. So if we do Fang with an ice stone, we will end up with an Erstehund style Arcanine. Which means Fang is going to grow much, much larger.
Oh yeah.
Going from
Lovely.
small to huge.
Lovely.
That would hurt.
Like a boss.
That's a big growth spurt, dude.
Oh yeah.
The growing pains in this episode are real.
For real. Everybody grab one of these. Grab D8.
D8.
Everybody grab 1d8. From all of your training, all of your tactics, your motivational speeches, your last night of relative peace, from Arjan's meal, from your memories of what's happened to you, your fears and concerns of what's coming, and the general camaraderie of friends, I would like you all to roll this die together. Please roll 1d8 each.
Ooh, 7.
2.
Okay, I'm going to go around real quick.
Mhm.
6.
6,
7.
13,
7.
20,
6.
26, 28. Everybody's going to gain 28 additional hit points. Down
Sorry,
the line.
guys.
I will
No, it's still solid.
plug them in as well.
To even like our characters?
That's your team. I'm going to level your characters up like 7 times.
Okay.
Because I gave you level 7 character sheets, and you guys are now much higher than that. It's been a
And
long
then
time.
it's 28 plus the 16 temporary that you said from earlier. So what is
So what I'm going to do...
what's 28 plus 16? That's
44.
44.
So what I'm going to do is, on this end, I'm just going to add 44 hit points to everybody's sheets.
Cool.
Because as far as I'm concerned...
This is it.
Yeah.
I was going to say that, well, I guess it doesn't matter. There's room on here to add like temp HP separate. Should
Yeah,
it
but
matter.
It changes your max HP, it doesn't give you temp
Yeah.
HP.
As far
That's
as
what
I'm,
Hero's Feast
as
does.
far as we're concerned,
Changes
until
your
the end of the
max?
game,
Brings your max up for like a full 8 hours or something like that is what it
But
does.
then it goes back down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, until we're done,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
all
there.
of your teams are going to get 44 more max hit points.
Nice.
Sweet.
Awesome.
awesome sauce.
You all-
guys.
So we can take one more hit from the Witcher.
you
Yeah,
take
pretty
a
much.
quarter of a hit.
So again, to throw it out there for you, if you tell me where you want Blue's team to go, Blue's team members, wherever you place them, will share their benefits with Tot Pokemon.
Fine.
Okay.
Us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, have him with us.
Okay. To catch everybody up on that, because I don't remember who has been here and who hasn't when we've gone over what Blue's team could do. So if you bring the Venusaur, you will all have advantage on saving throws. If you bring the Urshifu, you all have advantage on all attack rolls. If you bring the Clawitzer, you treat all damage rolls of a 3 or less as a 4. That includes things like Monty's Astonish. That includes... If you have static damage for Boomer of 2, it will be treated as 4. If you bring Blissey, all creatures, if you would heal them, instead just heal the maximum amount possible.
Including darts and
So
stuff?
if they would have a potion that would give them 2d4 plus 2, they're going to get 10. You don't roll, it just replaces. If they would roll a hit die, they get the max amount. If you bring the Dragapult, if you knock out anything, including an Elgium, you can use your bonus action to make that attack again against anything in range of what you could attack.
Yep.
If you bring the Turtonator, you share your resistances with one another. Which means you all lose your weakness to every damage type.
Yes.
Holy shit.
That's why we have them with us.
Wow.
So if you bring Turtonator and you have... trying to find a thing that's resistant to water that wasn't in Watalonga. If you send out Sage, CJ and Bentley resist water damage. It supersedes weaknesses.
Okay.
You do not share immunities,
Okay.
but you share weaknesses. You share your resistances, overriding weakness.
they're all with us. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
They all be there.
They're
They
all
all
there.
be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there for you.
Yep. All of them
When the
are...
moon starts to fall.
All of them are source infused. All of them do some pretty good damage. They will join you on the fight if you want them to. And they will treat any Tot Pokemon as a champion Pokemon.
Cool.
If they start
they're
to
there.
die, those abilities will go away. But
Right.
for as long as they're in the
I
fight
accept
fighting
those
with
terms.
Totally fine.
Some of you may
Why
die.
do I sign?
But
Okay.
that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
To start wrapping us up for today, because this has been a very mechanics heavy one, as I knew it would be. It's just going to be a lot of discussion. In the fields, I'm going to bring this down here so I can see it. In the field, with you, literally in the fields, are any Tots or Tot Pokemon going to be involved?
No, not me.
No for Milo? None for Phoebe?
No.
None for D?
None of my Pokemon. I'd like to be out there to start, just to, like, see it coming.
Okay.
And then leave.
Okay. You accept the risks inherent in that decision?
I don't know if I want to do that.
I mean, if the
understand.
fields are here
2.
and you're in the building,
I'll
you
do it.
can-
Yeah, I'll do it too.
You're gonna know that they're coming. It's a
No, I
huge
know.
horde.
So no.
No? Okay. Bentley? Anybody being involved in phase 1?
Where is the ship with Iris in relation to phases?
Trace.
Okay, so no.
Okay. Then what I will do for you is you will have access to Jax and his team. That is one NPC. You will have access to Eleanor and her team. It's another NPC. You will have access to Ansem and Ona, because Ansem is not going to bring Miles to this, because Miles is not a fighter. Miles will be assisting in triage for ice packs, things of that nature, for mundane wounds. So you will have
I don't know how many of those we're
you'll
gonna
have Ansem and Ona as a 16th level artificer and Ona. And then you will have Mitch and Terry.
Are those separate?
Yes, Mitch and Terry and their teams. You'll have the Tauros herd, three units of bureau agents, Crickets and the boys, the ranch hands, which will answer for Mitch and Terry. You will have Deirdre and the ghost armies. They will be riding and dying there, and you will have sonic cannons built, in addition to the other things that I will add to this sheet. All right, gang. Until next week, when the Siege of Ambercrag begins. As I learn more details about what your siege will look like, I will keep you guys up to date. When I have a battle map built for it, I will send you pictures. When I have things drawn out, same deal. Again, prepare for a long, very taxing day. Stage 1's going to be rough. Stage 2 is going to be heartbreaking. Stage 2 will be Tom and Helen on the ranch. Stage 2 will include a couple of the shopkeepers from inside Ambercrag. You're going to have Javier. You will have... What else am I forgetting? I'm forgetting a bunch of people. There's a million and one things I'm forgetting. But you will have...
Javier's.
You will have the Ritter Homestead. So you'll have Toby, Chamberlain, Bronwyn. It's going to be rough. It's going to be a tough one. So be prepared for some long, very taxing days. Probably emotionally and physically. But...
This is like Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's leaning a little more towards the last 4 minutes of Infinity War. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, for one of the last times, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you next week as we besiege the fields of Ambercrag. We'll see you on the other side.
With several newly evolved team members, some new source infusions, and wider plans for the safety of Ambercrag, the gang hunkers down in the medical center as lunar forces close in on the fields outside town. If you enjoyed this episode of Boarding Party, please consider leaving a like on the video to show your support. If you'd like to see more of the Tots and stay up to date on the Laris region, why not subscribe to the channel? If you'd like to help us out in other ways, you can follow the links in this video's description box to our Patreon. From there, you can join the discussions in our Discord server, or check out the post show, Still Rolling, and get a recap of every session with myself and the crew. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about the evolutions, source infusions, and preparations. And thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you next week in the fields for the Siege of Ambercrag.